Congresswoman Ania Dimokoro.
Think about it. The Reproductive Health Bill proposes that the answer to Philippine poverty and health is population control via artificial means of contraception. Think about it. Yesterday, we had all experienced the effects of Typhoon Petring. Over 2,000 families have been affected. Around 6 locations have been affected. How many times have we experienced bad experiences or poor reactions to calamities such as Typhoon Petring, Typhoon Ondoy, and all other typhoons that has hit the Philippines? Think about it. How many schools and classrooms do we need in the Philippines? Not only here in Metro Manila, but where I'm from, Mindanao, and where some of my colleagues are from, Visayas. Think about it. The underemployment, or those who are employed but only work less than 6 days a week, or don't get full employment benefits, have increased 2% this year, from 17% to now 19%. The unemployment rate has stayed to 7%. There are jobless people in the Philippines. Think about it. Now think about it. They say the Reproductive Health Bill espouses that artificial means of contraception will save a mother from death. But the #1 leading cause of death that are related to pregnancy are usually related to excessive loss of blood due to the lack of health facilities and health equipment that we have all around the Philippines. Think about it. Now think about it. It is heart and lung disease. Think about it. Will the Reproductive Health Bill, which proposes to give us a more developed Philippines, a better economy, and to uplift the poor and better health, will this answer our solution? Will this give solutions? Will this answer our problems immediately? Will it immediately provide jobs for those who need jobs? Will it immediately, artificial contraceptives, improve the health of mothers and other Filipinos? Will it immediately raise our economy? Or will the proposed 3 billion budget put into generating jobs, put into improving education, put into giving more scholarships, put into training of birth attendants and health practitioners, put into providing development into infrastructure such as roads, schools, health facilities? Will the 3 billion be put to better use if we provide it in more immediate solutions? And that immediate solution is truly answering the solution. Think about it. The Reproductive Health Bill is not the immediate solution to the Philippines. And what we need is a one Philippines that can come together and think pragmatically, think realistically. Let's stop going around the problem and let's go straight to the solution. Let's improve education, provide more jobs, improve health in the Philippines for a better Philippines, not artificial means of contraception as proposed by the Reproductive Health Bill. Think about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you heard it from them now, their statement, their stand, which is now, we hope to be also your stand. And to hear also a few words from the rest of them, just a few words, because we already heard everything, the whole stand, so we'll just follow first Congresswoman Lucy Torres.
speak today. So while Anita was speaking, I put some bullet points in my phone. Okay, very quickly now, I just want to tell you all that I think the fact that we all made time to be here today speaks a lot about our commitment to the cause. I also have to remember that there is another group that is just as persistent as we are, and there will be times when the going will get tough. And when that happens, all we have to do is keep our eyes focused on the goal. Remember what we are fighting for. Human life is a gift. Human beings are assets and not liabilities. And the true wealth of a nation is really in its people. So remember that. And this will everything for us in the journey that is to come.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. We thank you all for being here and being on our side. We are represented by legislators from the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, right here. And not only that, we are represented by people from El Shaddai, from our Muslim sister here, and of course the Roman Catholics. This is what I always say. Sometimes we're not sure if we're doing something right or wrong. But when the priest tells you and the Pope tells you, then you know that we are on the right path. So let's continue our fight and never give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon. Of course, I'd like to thank everyone for inviting us here and seeing that everyone is together against this RH bill. Talagang masaya ako. Being a second termer, nakikita namin that the support has been growing. So, siguro let's clap our hands for that. Thank you very much for that. Rest assured that the numbers in Congress are growing as well as the numbers outside Congress. We will fight this RH bill and we will make sure it will not pass. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, so magpasalamat sa inyo lahat for being here and for having us here because kung hindi dahil sa inyo, wala kami rito. Wala kaming ipinaglalaban. Ang ipinaglalaban namin ay kayo. Ang karapatan ng mga kabataan, ang future ng mga kabataan, at ang buhay. So I would like to thank everyone for supporting us. And at the same time, we will be supporting you also. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. We wanted, on behalf of our entire group, we wanted to thank all of you for being with us today. This is something that's very important for all of us. Not only because it deals with matters such as money and how much of it will be spent for programs that we think that will benefit the better good of our entire nation. But for us, it's important for us to know that no matter what side you are on this issue, whether you're for it or against it, the important thing to remember is that we all are for the betterment of our nation. We all want a better future for our country. For us, we believe that in order to provide a better future for our country, it is more important for us to spend now on education. It's more important for us to spend now on medicine, on healthcare, even on our territorial defense, than it is to spend for reproductive health improvements. That, to be quite honest, we are not sure how to ultimately account for whether this program will be successful in the generations to come. We want to make sure that we spend for something that will mean something to each and every one of you in this auditorium today, and for each and every Filipino in our entire country. We have to spend in education. You can feel how much we lack in our classrooms. You can feel how much Medicare how much healthcare our nation needs. We are representatives of our districts. When we go out, when we visit our constituents, what they always ask for are medicines. They ask for education. They ask for jobs. They ask for peace. They ask for so many different things that we feel that the money that is appropriated for this bill can be better spent. I know you share our vision for a better Philippines, and I know even those that are on the opposite side of this issue would like to see a better country. But we believe this is the best path to get there. Investing in the Filipino people, investing in the Filipino youth, rather than in pharmaceuticals and reproductive health implements. So again, thank you for joining us today. You will continue to be strong. You will help us to spread the message so that ultimately what we can provide is a better future for all of you and for your children and their children's children. Again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ako po'y natutuwa at nakikita ko po tayo lahat dito nagsasama-sama, nagkakaisa para sa isang issue na talagang nasa puso po natin. Alam niyo po, ang isang tulad ko ay palagi lang po sa sidelines. Ayoko masyado na sa limelight, sidelines lang. Pero sa issue na tulad nito, ang paggamit sa 3 bilyong piso para po sa reproductive health ay napakalaking issue sa akin. Kaya sinabi ko po, tigilan na po pagiging sideline, pumunta na po tayo sa gitna, magsalita po tayo at paglaban ng ating karapatan. Ang sinasabi ko po, ang 3 billion na gagamitin para sa RH bill ay umpisa pa lang po yan. 3 billion, pag naipasa po natin ito, hindi lang 3 billion, kulang yan para sa gusto nilang mangyari. Lalaki po yan, hindi lang 3 billion yan. Kaya nga po sinasabi ng aming grupo na ang 3 billion, imbis na gamitin po natin sa mga ganitong bagay, gamitin na po natin sa mga subok ng mga programa na sigurado makakapagpaganda ng kaunlaran at ang buhay ng ating mga mamamayan Pilipino. Ang inyong likod nga po ay natutuwa at ipaalam sa inyo lahat na ngayon po sa Kongreso, marami na po tayong mga batang mga congressman, members of Congress. So, kitang-kita po kayo lahat, mga kabataan, kitang-kita ko po ang inyong dedikasyon para paglaban ng ating future, paglaban po ang ating bayan. So sa inyo lahat, maraming salamat kung bisa pa naman po ang laban natin. With your help, I'm sure maabot po natin ang ating goal. So maganda na po at mabuhay po ngayon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon po. My name is Lance Luan, and I'm from the province of Quirino. I'm sure a lot of us don't know where that is, but nevertheless, I'm here today to stand not only as a representative of Quirino, but also of Filipino youth. All of us here today, in front of you, are here not as congressmen or congresswomen. We stand here as Filipino youth who are also concerned about the future of our country. Our manifesto, I believe, was distributed earlier this morning, correct? Have you all read the manifesto that we put out in the papers? Basically, the manifesto, as very well articulated by Congresswoman Dimoporo, states 3 things, 3 core beliefs that we stand by. Number 1, the proponents of the RH bill, although they may have good intentions, they claim that poverty in our country is mainly caused by an overpopulation situation in our land. We do not agree to that for the sole reason that we believe, as Lucy said, the wealth of a nation is its people. Our population is not too much. There are examples all over the world, in cities like Hong Kong, in cities like Singapore and New York, wherein they are very, very densely populated, but then the standard of living in those cities are very high. We therefore conclude that overpopulation is not the cause of poverty. What we should instead be doing as a nation and as a people is fighting corruption, making sure government gives access to employment to a majority of our population, and provide education to our young so that they can be productive citizens of the future. The second point that we stand by on, as very well said by Congressman Kisumbing and Congresswoman Rimocoro, is that the 3 billion proposed allocation for the RH bill is not something that we can afford as a nation. We are not blind, we are not deaf. We see the needs of our country. We all know that we could use better mass transit, more or longer railways or MRTs. We all know we could use more school buildings, not only in Metro Manila, outside of the metro area. We all know we need better infrastructure, more bridges, more roads, so that our farmers can bring down their products to the markets. There's so many things that our country needs before we can even dream or consider about spending for these contraceptives. Now the third principle we stand on is very simple. All over the country, we have seen our country is being divided because of this issue. There have been name-calling, there have been lambasting, not only government, but also people, common people like us, every day debating against each other whether the RH bill is good or not for our country. It is very divisive, and it's not healthy for our country to be undergoing such division. We should instead be looking at common areas where we can work together. We can look at the examples of the countries that have progressed in the past decades so that we can learn and we can see that this is not the solution to a brighter future. I am but one voice among 9 on this stage. Well, 8 for today, but there's 9 of us. I am but one voice, or we are but 9 voices in Congress standing up for this cause. But I believe together, if we can educate our fellow youth, if we can educate our fellow Filipinos on the issue that really matter for our future, then we can be more than millions of voices resonating and telling our government that this is not the answer to poverty. Please help us. Although we can vote in the halls of Congress on this issue, we alone cannot mold the minds of our fellow Filipinos. We need your help for that. We hope that as young, energetic, or even those who are not so young anymore, but still carry in their hearts the welfare of the young or the future generations, we hope that you can help us send out that message. To tell the Filipino what really matters, and it is not the RH bill. Thank you very much.